So I've used a bunch of different backdrops over the years. I've used V-flats, I've used seamless paper, I've used cloth background, and what's the other one called? Muslin. Yes, it's not a religion. And they all have their uses. The one I chose to get, we're gonna mount and leave in location 24/7, and we're gonna use a remote control to raise it up and down. We just did our first shoot with the retractable motorized Raubay backdrop here in the studio, and I just installed this Raubay retractable backdrop. And having a retractable background just makes it super easy. When you're done shooting, if you want to go back to just having a blank wall, you hit the up button. It is a little slow. So I've mounted the little switch up here. You can just hit that. There's also a remote that I can use to pull it down. One thing I do like about this, which was a little different than some of the seamless paper I have, is that it feels less reflective. Also, because it's not material that, you might fold up, there's never any wrinkles in it. My God, the hours that I've spent putting things in the dryer or using one of those steam cleaners to get wrinkles out of fabric backgrounds. We hung it in the ceiling by the brackets that come included with it. It's really easy to do. You do have to have power, since if you're mounting it up in a ceiling, you're gonna need to power it up there. We just ran the power through the rafters and dropped it down the wall. If you're gonna mount this inside of a house and you have closed ceilings, that might be a little bit of a challenge because you're gonna have this awkwardly hanging cable. They do have a version that's not powered that you can just pull down and it'll lock, kind of like window blinds. And that's really useful if you're gonna mount it in a place where you don't have power or you just don't want the cable to come down. So what you're looking at right now is some photos from the shoot that we did with this background, and you can see that with a gridded softbox, the background really absorbed a lot of light and didn't reflect a lot back, which was great. The model is maybe 1.5 feet, 2 feet from the background. But you can also see that in some of the images we used a gobo to fire a light shape onto the background. It did take a little more light power to get the gobo to show up on this fabric, more than it would, I think, if you were using seamless. Overall though, this is probably my favorite new addition to the studio. It's motorized, it's really easy to use. Another factor here was the width. This one's gonna be 78 inches wide, and what I found is for 1 or 2 people, that's perfect. I have plenty of room to get the entire subject in there and not have any of the outside background or the non-background background, whatever. So if you're interested in checking out some of what they have, I'll put links in the descriptions, but I'd be curious to know, what do you use for backgrounds? Do you use paper? Do you use fabric? Do you use natural? Just shoot against a painted wall? Drop me a comment and let me know.